Okay, I'm actually kind of thankful for this week because, like, I feel like a lot was happening, but I also feel like nothing was happening. I'm starting to find the peace in the boring, the mundane, right? Anyway, let's sit down and talk about it. So, this week at work, we actually had excuse me eating because today's been a lot. I'll put you in a second, but I gotta eat. But this week at work, we kind of started out with a new system upgrade. And honestly, I thought it's going to be chaotic. I thought it was going to be like overwhelmingly just taking me out of there, but it wasn't. Um, we had some hiccups, some major hiccups. Um, some people were negatively affected for sure. But it forced us to kind of create some solutions, and we were okay. And overall, toward the end of the week, it gives me a better tracker of being able to keep up with the team. It gives them a better tracker of like what they're doing and what's actually theirs ownership wise. And so the bigger dream, in fact, we ended up having a call to kind of get the pulse of how the team was feeling. And they were all feeling great. And so one of the leaders asked me how I was feeling, and I was like, hey, like it was hell for me this week. Like it was hell. Like we found a lot of hiccups. We found a lot of problems, a lot of things. I said, but what I am very, very happy to hear is that the team is doing good because you guys are going to be the ones in it that's going to have to maneuver around. And if you guys are feeling good and you all are feeling comfortable, then everything that we're doing is well worth it. So, work-wise, we integrate. Transition into this business. Okay. The Yaris, well, the Impala is still down. My business partner is waiting on me to make a decision on what we're going to do with the vehicle. But the Yaris still needs to get some work. And so they were supposed to order some parts, and something happened with one of the employees, and obviously it was a performance issue, so he had to, I think, let them go. But long story short, the parts that was supposed to have been ordered last week were not ordered. So therefore, I have two vehicles that are down that are not producing money, which is not good because the business still has bills, which means that I'm going to have to front that until the business get back to where it needs to be. Oh my goodness. But needless to say, I did touch bases with him to let him know once we get the Yaris up and rolling, that'll let me know how much money is still allocated to go toward the Impala. And so once all of that's resolved, I'll make a final decision on what I'm going to do with the Impala. But I'm not going to do that until the Yaris is up and running because I need that money generating and coming in. People don't think about that. Everybody's just like, I want a business, I want a business, I want a business. Whatever, you're going to have good days, you're going to have bad days, good months, bad months. You're going to have to create problems. I'm sorry, you are going to create problems, but you are definitely going to have to create solutions on the spot. And so, yeah, people just don't always think about that. And then, even speaking of that, a lot of things were kind of triggering me this week in a personal way, and like my brain was just like over flooded with like endless possibilities of what could go wrong. And so I don't know what was going on this week. I tried to keep doing my meditation. I tried to keep myself up and motivated without faking anything because I don't believe in that. But the reality was like Jimmy, yeah, what if this is going on? What if this happens? And what if this happens? And what if you have to do this? And what do you have to, like everything. It was just like, oh my gosh. And I had no choice but to keep pushing through. Like I had no choice because I'm like, after all, I control what goes into my brain. Like, and at least I can control how long it stays there. So any thoughts can come through, right? Your environment can definitely put something in your mind or a situation to come to your mind. But that thought that comes into your mind, it doesn't have to stay. And I'm normally really good at allowing the negative thoughts to come in and easily go right back out. But this week I was losing that battle. It definitely was affecting me a lot. And so, again, I had no choice but to keep pushing through. And what ended up happening was like, okay, so this is the potential. And what I mean by that is, and I had to actually talk to Chad about it, but my brain likes to run through what if scenarios and just to kind of be prepared for those what if scenarios. And so I was like, obviously my brain was pushing me to do it. I was struggling and didn't want to. And so I was like, okay, fine. So let's just push through it. Let's go. And so like all of these negative thoughts, all of these what if scenarios would pop up. And I'm just like, okay, if that happened, I know I can do that. If that happened, I know I can do this. If this happens, got it. Okay, like I know I can, this will piss me off. I'll be upset or frustrated, but at the end of the day, I know I can make this happen. And so I was like, all of these scenarios were kind of just going through my mind. And once I got through them and pushed through them of thinking about them, the faster my body, my mental started to settle down to say, okay, you're okay. You're safe. Like you are okay. And so I don't recommend that for everybody because not everybody has the ability to kind of pull themselves out. Sometimes you can go down a downward spiral and it negatively, like legitimately could put you in a depression. And so I don't normally recommend that for people, but my brain, for some reason this week, it was just like, Jimmy, let's do it. Like you're doing it this week, whether you want to or not. So there you go. Right. But it's okay. And that's probably what was going on with me, honestly, because each day, like I was getting up, because I don't, like normally I would get up, I do my yoga, I do my meditation. But this week, every day, I was like, I don't want to do yoga today. I don't want to meditate. I don't want to do yoga, like each day. And so the first day I was like, okay, I'm like, damn. I don't want to do it. So I was like, I'll do it when I get home. And as I was getting ready, I was just like, oh, wait a second. Jimmy, you're unlikely to do it when you get home. You are more unlikely to do it when you get home. If you don't go ahead and do your yoga now, you're probably not going to. Is that what you want to do? And so I said, okay, so shit, let me go ahead. I did my yoga. Came home, felt good. I did Pilates because I didn't do my walk. So I ended up doing Pilates that afternoon. So I was like, okay, great. Next morning, Jimmy, you don't feel like it. Again. And then I got hit with the message of the habits that you are creating, the decisions you are creating will build your future habits. And so I was like, now damn, I lost track of yoga for a minute. I'm not losing it again. And so I was just like, nope, get up, do it. So I got up, did yoga. I came home again that day and did Pilates. The next day, I got up again. I was like, damn, like I'm running late. I got to get into the office. Again, I don't feel like doing yoga. And came across a TikTok that summed up exactly what I had said the day prior. Like, oh, okay. Those thoughts that's going in your brain right now, they're really not yours. And more importantly, they're not yours. You can control how you think or feel about those thoughts by doing a decision, like by making a decision. And so like, Jimmy, what are you going to do? Like the TikTok was legitimately talking to me. Like, what are you going to do in this moment? Like you get to choose, like make a damn decision. So I was like, oh my God. So I got up, did my yoga, was running late for work, but I was just like, I didn't care. Because I was like, it is what it is. I'm late. So I did my yoga. I actually did my walk that day. And like, again, you do those things and you're just like, I feel good after you do them. Prior to trying to motivate yourself to do it, doesn't always work out in your favor. And so that was one of the big lessons I had to learn this week. Like, do whatever you want to do, but know that the habits that you are doing, like Jimmy, Talking to me, not talking to you. But like Jimmy, the habits that you have, like this decision that you're making right now, your future self is going to have to pay for it. So whatever that is for you, like Jimmy, you got to make a decision. What do you want it to be today? And so that was just kind of like a routine thing that kept popping up throughout this week for me. But it's okay. It is what it is. Each night I had whiskey to kind of clear my mind. I am learning more and more about this whole whiskey thing. I normally like Proper 12, not that they're sponsored any of this whatsoever. But I normally love Proper 12. I always keep it in the house. But it's one of those that is like really, really good, smooth. You can mix it with whatever you want. And it normally, it really puts me in a good mood. The guy at the store that I go to, I think he's the owner, he recommended Green River, which is a Kentucky straight bourbon. It does not take much. It does not take much. You can legitimately do probably half a shot, and I could sip on that all day, or at least all night. And that's what I did. Like, it was so good. So each day, not overindulging, but just kind of like, okay, at least up until last night. Woke up this morning with a slight headache, but whatever. It's Saturday, who cares, right? We got up, did my yoga again. Next thing I know, like, I've been up. Like, I mean, it's still morning, and I have accomplished so much today. So much today. I've cleaned out the shower. I've washed clothes. I put up all of the clothes. Washed the dishes. Well, put them in the dishwasher. Cleaned out the sink, and just like did my yoga. I have my leadership videos where I go into to answer. Typically, I answer one question per Saturday. Today, I was so motivated to answer two. Posted both of those videos. Did my inspirational videos. And still have time to record this. So, this week, although a lot did not happen, today, I feel good. I'm very grateful that this entire week, not a lot happened. I feel good. And then again, maybe it's not even the fact that a lot didn't happen. It's probably more so of how I perceive these things. Because I'm definitely, like my brain, like I told you about my mind, just accepting. Like, okay, you want to go here, so let's go. Let's see what you're talking about. Even at work and within my department, like accepting the reality. Like, certain things are not going to change. Certain things are in my control that can change. Certain things, that's just their personality. Like, why would I try to change that? And so I think a lot of that is probably what happened this week, to be honest with you. That's probably what really happened. It wasn't busy. It wasn't over-consuming me. Because I'm just accepting. Wow. At the end of the day, they are who they are. Wow. There you go. Damn. All right, Jimmy. Oh, that's in real time. Well, that's my week. I'm gonna get up and go get some gas. I hope you guys enjoyed your week. Even if it was the mundane, even if it was the boring. I hope that you're finding the beauty in all of that. And get out and get some fresh air, hell. And some real water. Not the fake tap stuff. Don't do that. Get some real water from the spring. Anyway, I'll see you guys right back here next week on the next one. But until then, just remember that I am no different than you. I'm still trying to figure this thing out. But we are all just still becoming. See ya.